Hey, everybody. Welcome back to All I Can Be. Jump in. This episode is about remembering things. And I guess you could say memory is the entitle Remember When, episode 8. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Remember when you was a kid. What all do you really remember? I remember sitting on the foot of my grandmother's bed in a shotgun house. The toilet was on the back porch and watching Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I think Sesame Street. Can't be sure if it was Sesame Street, but I remember those things. And my mother told me, "You couldn't have been more than two or three. How do you remember that?" I said, "I don't know. I just remember them." And I still remember that stuff. That's when I was a kid, but I remember a lot of things when I was a kid. Remember when you was in high school? I do. I remember I was in high school. I think the biggest thing about high school for me was I played in the band, the marching band, the concert season portion of the band. But I played French horn and I played mellophone for those who don't know who I am. Um, so that was my high school that I remember mostly. And do you remember college? If you went to college, you might have just got out of high school and started working or something like that. But I went to college for 2 years, Mississippi Delta Junior College or Morehead Junior College or whatever they call it, or called it back then, or what they call it now. But I went there for a couple of years. Well, was it 2 years or 1 year? I think it was 1 year. See, I can't remember that, but it was good. I liked it. It was. I went to school for mechanics to further my mechanic skills and such, and my knowledge of how cars and stuff work. So, but I remember that. That's my college remember. Remember when you joined the military, or remember when you graduated from high school and you started working out there on your own? So you was on your own, right? All right. So I remember joining the military, but I remember what got me in the military mostly was a commercial that I mentioned before. Was um, "Be All You Can Be" commercial that came on that just enticed me to join the army. So I remember that portion of college. Now, remember when that thing happened to you that a lot of people probably don't know about, but it could have caused your death, or people may know about it. But whatever it was something that was very dangerous, and it happened. But I'm sure you remember because you will never forget something like that. I had quite a few of those. To be honest with you, it's kind of crazy and wacky, but maybe one day I'll tell you about it. But I had quite a few of those. But now, as I get older, things are different. Because I can remember a lot of things that happened when I was in the military. But since I got out and then as I got older, now being 63, they call it just aging, I guess. But I don't think aging is always the cause of it. But, I'm not a professional scientist or nothing like that. But um, I do know that when I got out and I got older, that I started to lose memory on stuff even more than what I did before. Okay. So as of today, how is your memory? Depends on what age you are at this point, I suppose. And then they got this thing they call doorway entry. What's it? Doorway memory, where you cross from one doorway to another one, you might forget what you went there for, or something like that. I do that quite often, and I don't know if it's called doorway memory. I just know when I'm in the kitchen cooking and I'm making something because I'm a chef. Everybody, I like to cook. I'm, well, I call myself a chef anyway. Anyway, so I'm cooking something and I needed ingredients or something that I need to go with something or other or whatever. So I decided to go in the pantry and get it. When I get inside the pantry, I'm standing there, I'm looking at everything in there because I'm thinking, what the heck did I come here for? And then I just lean back out and look out at the where I'm cooking at the island or whatever, and I see I think about what I'm cooking. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I came here for. So that happens to me 90% of the time, I guess you could say. But yeah, that happens. That's I mean, it's very interesting how you forget something so fast, just like that. Conversations, remember some conversations, like sometimes my wife said, well, we just talked about this, a couple days ago. And I'd be like, I don't remember talking about that. You talked about it. And she tried to convince me to remember what it is. And I was like, oh, yeah, now I remember. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. I just said so she'll stop messing with me about it. So, so anyway, but in the military, we had something called CRS, and I think I got that disease. CRS disease is just short for can't remember shit, but that's what we call the CRS, and I have a lot of that right now. So anyway, um, however everything turns out with my memory and stuff, I'm glad to have the memories that I have that goes back as far as they go. I remember so many things, so many events that happened in the military and all that, but I don't know where it's going to go from this point. And I don't think they got a medication that helps your memory. People are always trying to pitch what they got to help you with this and help you with that, but is it really real stuff that helps? So I'm just skeptical on believing stuff like that. So I just say that do the best you can to try to remember things. Use techniques to remember stuff. If it's writing something down or uh, using color codes to remember something. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but however, whatever makes you helps you remember stuff, or remember things. Reminders on your phone or whatever. So anyway, but hey, I remember. I don't know if it's called blackout, but I'm gonna call it blackout memory because there's certain things that I don't remember that happened to me when I was in the military. Now, case in point, two cases in point. I'm gonna tell you about. I was in basic training and I was boxing. Was it AIT? Yeah, boxing basic training. I think it was. Yeah, I did boxing basic training, and I remember my first fight and then my second fight, and I think I the second or third fight it was, but I lost the last one. But they wanted me to continue to box and stuff, and you know we wouldn't be able to move on to our next to the station if I stayed there and box. I didn't want to box that bad. So anyway, I remember my first fight particularly that I remember going in the ring. I remember the bell ringing. I remember starting a fight. I don't remember anything after that. I remember the guy raising my hand and said I was a winner. And I do not remember anything after that or before that. That was crazy. I don't remember my fight. So I don't know what I did or how good I was or anything or how bad I was. I like to think I was good since I won. So anyway, that's one situation. Another situation was um, when I was in Panama for jungle training, and we go out on the river, out on the ocean, and they came back into a lagoon with a LCM, what they call a load craft, landing craft marine. It was a boat. On the back of it, we got into the lagoon portion. We go to the back of it, and we jump off into the lagoon, and then I swim my way off to the shore portion. I don't remember how I got to that shore, but I know I got there. So I remember jumping, but I don't remember anything between jumping and getting to that shore. I don't know if that has something to do with some form of adrenaline, hype, whatever. And it's like I blank out, but whatever I'm doing it in a automated or robotic uh, fashion or something that's letting me get to do what I need to do, and then I come back. It's like I become somebody else or something. I don't know where my mind goes. I don't know what happened. I can't. I have no memory of that stuff, of that portion in between. So it's crazy. but it happens. I call it blackout memory. That's all I can call it. But anyway, that was just a couple of my adventures that I had a blackout thing. But I think there was only two that I think I had a blackout portion on. But anyway, hey, take care of yourself out there. If you can find something that helps with your memory, go ahead and do so. Help yourself. Do some techniques to help you with your memory or whatever. But you know, be good to yourself. All right, that's all I got. You guys take care. Be safe out there and have a cool day.